job. Again, that was head of goal down to the track.
Terry, that's what I needed.
And it looks like the first one on is Bill Gould in the 44. He's driving in memory of Danny Gould and Johnny Moore. He's here out of Gainesville. Here comes number 3D, Todd Danner out of Athens, sponsored by the Athens News. Number 01, Jessica Sinclair out of Athens, sponsored by Curtis Auto. Now, ladies and gentlemen, she's 16 years old on total, running her first derby. So let's wish Jessie good luck here. There comes number 17G, Terry Gilkey out of Athens, sponsored by Alice Auto Repair. Number 15, J.R. Russell out of Athens, sponsored by H&H Miller Small Engine. Number 321, Steve Coy out of New Marshfield, sponsored by the Wrestling Lodge. Number 444, Toby Skinner out of Gloucester, H Miller Small Engine. 37, Corey Runner out of Athens, sponsored by Little Italy Pizza. Number 24, Brandon out of New Marshfield, sponsored by Earl Constreet. And the 26 XX, Clayton Torres out of New Marshfield. And it looks like Tony Miller out of Gloucester is in the 11X. I had him signed up for heat number 2, so we'll add him to the list. For the 11X is Tony Miller out of Gloucester, sponsored by Gloucester Easy Park. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go! Already on the line. One on the winner for every Moving on to the feature event, looks like Todd Dinner out of Athens in the 3D is going to be moving on. Also, the number 11X, Tony Miller out of Gloucester, sponsored by Gloucester Easy Mart. And number 4, Toby Skinner out of Gloucester, sponsored by AT&T Small Engines. And number 3D is going to be sponsored by Athens. So congratulations to all those drivers. Again, drivers, we are going to be running a constellation event for both the large cars and the big cars. So if you're able to get your vehicle. Okay, looks like number 44 is going to be the first one on the track. The big cars, J.R. Stringer out of Guysville. Number 26X for Ricky McCune out of New Marshville, sponsored by Waterside Construction. Number 35D, Keith Douglas out of Athens, sponsored by Bob Evans. Shane Rose is in the number 27.
Shane is here out of Athens. His sponsor is Larry's Doghouse.
Because of
have to unplug her camera.
I think it's probably too wide.
Okay, looks like Brian Gould in the 4B is the next one onto the track. He's here out of Athens, sponsored by PA Sure Stop and Gould Graphics. The number 39B, Jeremy Johnson out of Athens, sponsored by Landot Used Cars. For Landot Used, number 75, Mark Shields out of Albany. Following him is going to be the number 86, Elmer Kimmy out of Nelsonville. The number 771, Tom Coey out of Athens, sponsored by Landot Used. The number 262, Jeff Adams out of Nelsonville. And in from the other side is the number 86, Charlie Beverly out of Logan, sponsored by Don Wright Construction. Okay, looks like the track is clear. Green flags are flying, means the referees are ready and the drivers are ready. So let's give them a countdown, starting with 5, 4. Whoop, hold them up, hold them up, hold them up. We got the red flags are flying. Something's going on. Drivers and referees are ready, so let's give them a countdown, starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let them go! And the action's now underway in the big cars here. And already you can see that there's quite a difference on the sound. A lot more horsepower buzzing around out there. Looks like the 4B a little slow off the line, but he's finally got her in line. And Brian Gould's moving around right now and jockeying around for position. Number 86 coming back into the big fast clip right now. That is Elmer Kimmy out of Nelsonville. He's got a little bit of smoke coming out of the exhaust of that. Not quite sure if that's coming from the outside of the stack or the inside, or maybe a little combination of both. He's having a little bit of smoke pour out of the hood of that number 86 already. And look at him go right now. The number 771, Tom Coey out of Athens. Uh-oh, looks like Tom pushed on the wrong person, because the number 75, I don't think, liked what happened to him, and Mark Shields decided he was going to push back. And doggone it, that was going to be a good hit from the number 86, because he was going down there at a good clip. Charlie Beverly out of Logan made her from one end down to the other, just wasn't able to connect very well. They were kind of sliding around down at the end, and the drivers just happened to get out of the way in the nick of time. Here's the one thing you can see. The bad thing on these vehicles is it looks like the bumper height is just the wrong height. to these big cars, as we already have a 1, 2, 3 of them hung up. That's going to be the 262 of Jeff Adams. He's over there with the 771 of Tom Coy. Also the number 35D, Keith Douglas, all trying to remove themselves from the concrete barricade. But usually they are very unforgiving, and I'd say the worst one right at the present moment is going to be the 771, who's almost completely centered on that. And they're definitely stacking them up. Track central right now, and the number 86, Charlie Beverly, is right in the middle of all that action once again. He was pushing the 4B around just a little bit. Brian Gould out of Athens found himself in the middle of the mix. The referee's giving a little bit of a pep talk to the number 44 right now. And I think that might have just did it. But look what we got coming down the track. Number 75 at a fairly good rate. That's Mark Shields. He's going to take her all the way down to the far end of the track. But it looks like he may have taken her just a tad too far, as now he finds himself hung up. Oh, he made it off of there, and he's back in action and right now lining up to make contact finally with the number 86 of Charlie Beverly, who does still have his flag flying, signifying that he is still in contention. And we've got quite a mess out there around the outer perimeter of the track right now as these drivers find themselves all hung up. Look at that, the number 39B, Jeremy Johnson. He's got a lot of running room out there, kind of a familiar number and a familiar name here on the Athens County track. He's going down there taking no prisoners, and it looks like we're definitely doing quite a lot of hard-hitting action out here in quite the early going still of this big car event. Number 75 running a very respectable derby out there. That's Mark Shields out of Albany. He's keeping the hammer down and keeping a lot of good hitting going on out there. Down at the far west end, the number 27 pulling away. That's Shane Graves, and that is going to have him feeling that tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee. The number 4B, Brian Gould out of Athens, came down there in that 4B machine with quite a blistering speed and made a very hard hit. And they are bopping around right now, and that is another legal hit. The driver's door is the one safety zone, and look and watch that, because that's going to do some damage to the nose of Brian Gould's number 4B. Jeremy Johnson just gave him a heck of a hit, and I don't know, he's telling him to, looks like, just keep bringing her on. I'm having a good time out here. I'm going to make my way out of this corner, and we're going to do a little bit of derbying tonight right here at the 2009 Athens County Fair, and it looks like the 44, J.R. Springer out of Guysville, is going to pop in here. He's trying to refire his machine, and another, looks like he's having a heck of a time. The number 75, I believe that is. He's bebopping all over the track. That's Mark Shields in the 75 making a breakaway along with the 39B of Jeremy Johnson. They're side by side. Looks like they're choosing their targets right now. And it looks like the number 4B decides, hold him up, hold him up. Hold him up. Looks like that is going to be it. The big cars didn't take long to get her all finished up, which means your number 27, Shane Graves out of Athens, is going to be making it to the big money round. He's going to be alongside the 75 of Mark Shields out of Albany and the number 39B, Jeremy Johnson out of Athens. All of those have moved on to the feature event for the large cars tonight. Next up is going to be heat number 2. Heat number 2 of the minis. You need to be strapping yourself in as soon as this track gets cleared. Okay, here comes the 01, Dale Sinclair out of Athens. Going to be the first one onto the track. His sponsor is Greg's Auto Salvage. Following him is the number 71X. That's Newton Russell out of Millfield, sponsored by Greg's Auto Salvage as well. The number 67, Howard Miller out of Gloucester, sponsored by Gloucester Easy Mart. The number 98, Kenny Klaus out of Millfield, sponsored by Klaus Mixed Motorsports. The number J12, Dwight Edwards out of Athens, sponsored by Klein's Construction. Number 13, Dustin McGrath out of Athens, sponsored by Lucky Dog. The number 110, Joe Skurlock out of Athens, sponsored by Klein's Construction. Here comes the J1, Josh Cohen out of Nelsonville, sponsored by Muffler Express. And the number 99B, Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester, sponsored by H&H Small Engines. Five, four, three, two, one, let them go! And the action's now underway in Heat 2 of the mini cars. And already they're mixing it up at Track Central. And the number 71X doing a fine job. That was Newton Russell. He did slow down because he was right in line to make contact with the driver's door. And the driver's door is the one area they are not allowed to make contact with, and that's all for safety's sake. So he did the right thing. And number 13, Dustin McGrath, Dustin McGrath is gonna have one heck of a sore neck tomorrow, I'm afraid, and they are mixing it up out there. That was the J12, Dwight Edwards out of Athens, putting some hard-hitting bumper to bump. Hold him up! Nope, he looks okay. He went. I think the number I can't tell the number on that, but that was a 99B, went down for a second. And I thought they were going to have to check on him because that was a very hard hit that he sustained. And this is a fast track. I'll guarantee that. These small cars, they just do not have the amount of metal around them that their larger counterparts have. Over on the other side of the track, Dale Sinclair in the 01. He's tearing it up out there in that orange and white automobile, finding himself down at the far end of the track right now, nose to nose with the 71X of Newton Russell out of Millfield. And there's a lot of smoke out of that 01. Looks like he must have a flat tire on the other side of that. Can't tell from this vantage point. We're going to have to watch that. Hopefully that tire doesn't get too hot and finally catch and fling around. But doggone it, looks like Dale Sinclair is slowing up quite a bit. Also have some slowing up going on with the J12, Dwight Edwards out of Athens. Got a lot of steam coming out from the hood of that vehicle right now. Definitely slowing up quite a bit. And the smell of demolition derby definitely in the air right now. Hold him up! Hold him up! The referee's calling a red flag. They're going to go out and take a look. One of these vehicles looked like they had something up under the hood, and I believe that is Dwight Edwards. Looks like we're going to need the fire department out here in front of the number. Mostly green flags are flying. They're still waiting to make sure the track gets cleared, I believe. Okay, looks like we're ready to turn them back loose and let them go. We're going to figure out which ones are going to be going on to the feature event right now. Definitely have 4 of them still left running. Number 110, Joe Skurlock out of Athens. He's putting on a heck of a show right now. He's getting her down and finally making contact right in the nose of the 71X. That's Newton Russell, just as he had that hard hit put on the nose of his vehicle. A lot of steam started pouring out from that. And Joseph's coming back a second time, but the driver's door's right there, and he did opt not to take that. Dustin Buckley in the 99B was coming down to make his presence known. Down at the far end of the 98, Kenny Klaus trying to get his vehicle turned around and get back into the action where the rest of them are. But I believe from the looks of the front of his vehicle, he's got a tie rod broke and just not able to have too good a control of that. So he's going to go the best that he can, and it looks like he's got her figured out. He's back down with the other three of them. So again, 4 vehicles battling it out for the top 3 spots here in mini car heat number 2. And right now, something seems to be going on with the 71X. Newton Russell finds himself up against the wall. He's got her fired up, making his way back out there. But boy, the rear end of his vehicle definitely got quite a bit shorter as this mini car heat has progressed. Not a whole lot of metal sticking out from behind the rear tires of that 71X. Looks like he's been doing a lot of hitting. And I think she's going to get a little bit shorter right there with that one hit from the number 110 of Joe Skurlock out of Athens. Joe's been running very hard. He did the right thing again, watching out for the driver's door. Again, the safety is the main name of the game out here. It is a lot of hard-hitting, bumper-to-bumper action. However, they do have to keep an eye out for the safety of their fellow drivers. And the driver's door, you can see how close these driver's doors are in these smaller cars especially. But they do keep a close eye on that. Mutual respect between the drivers is the main thing out here. Safety-wise, other than that, all's fair in love, war, and demolition derby. So these guys definitely mixing it up. Spinning it around right now is going to be the number 110, Joe Skurlock, taking aim this time. Looks like he's going to go after the 71X again. And that's going to be Newton Russell getting a little bit of a shove all the way down there. Wanting in on the action is going to be Kenny Klaus in the number 98. He's got his vehicle going. Looks like he's going to be going back to back and just slightly miss the number 110. But he is kind of battling those technical difficulties on the front of that 98 right now. He's trying his best and doing a pretty good job of steering it, considering he's only got control, I believe, of probably one of the 2 front wheels on that vehicle. The passenger side front definitely flopping around wherever it wants to go. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that we may have the same predicament on the number 110. He's got a little bit of flip-flopping going on the front tires too as he shifts gears down there. So we still have 4 of them left running right now. The number 99B, Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester. Looks like he momentarily stalled out. We could see the smoke just pouring out, and he's got her fired back up already, and I believe he's probably going to go back to make contact with Newton Russell in the 71X. Newton's going to throw her in drive, and he's going to take his sight on the number 110 of Joe Skurlock from Athens. Again, in number 98 right now. The 98 does not have control of the front, but Kenny Klaus doing a very respectable job trying to take her where he's able to. You can see him working that steering wheel. That it just has control of the front driver's tire. Front passenger side's just kind of acting as a boat anchor out there, slowing his progress down. And the mini car is definitely taking a lot of punishment and abuse, and that's going to be it. So let's hold them up right there. Let's hold them up, because I believe that those are going to be the 3 moving on to the feature event. Checkered flag coming out right now to the 71X of Newton Russell out of Millfield. His sponsor is Greg's Auto Salvage. Taking a checker flag there is Joe Skurlock out of Athens, sponsored by Klein's Construction. And finally, the number 98, Kenny Klaus out of Millfield, sponsored by Klaus Mixed Motorsports. Congratulations to those drivers for doing a fine job out there. Now, as soon as the track is cleared, it's going to be time for Big Car Heat number 2. Big Car Heat number 2, you are up next, so be ready as soon as the
Adam Albany in the number 77, sponsored by Car Auto Glass. Next in, it's going to be the 621 Clyde Danner out of Shane, sponsored by Meeks Lumber.
Here comes the number 50, I believe it is. Daniel Mace out of MacArthur. Looks like Daniel's got a couple friends in the audience here to cheer him on. Got a newer model station wagon there in the number 50. I believe that's the 218X Seth Gibson out of Bell Fountain, sponsored by Kirby's Auto Parts. And switching our attention to the other end now. Keith Taylor is going to be here in the number 600. He's here out of Nelsonville, sponsored by TB Auto and Tow. The number 831. Mickey West out of Athens, sponsored by Lennox Used Auto Parts. Number 73R, Jamie Graves out of Athens, sponsored by Dave's Cores. That was the number 15, Chad Cole out of Bodkin, sponsored by Schneipel Construction, it looks like. The number 69.9, Raymond Brooks out of DeLand, sponsored by the Florida Gators, it says. And the number 96X, Stacy Bailey out of Albany, driving in memory of John Wheeler. And it looks like the number 6. 4, 3, 2, 1, let them go! And the action's now underway in heat number 2 of the big cars. Taking off, heading out, and getting them all bottled up right at Track Central right now. And the 73R's bouncing around. Busting his way through there. That was Jamie Graves out of Athens, pushing his way down there, and it looks to be that Hot Rod Lincoln. He's going to go down to make contact with the number 50. But watch out, folks, because the 831 is on the warpath. That's Mickey West. He's busting his way through there with quite the vengeance, taking no prisoners right now, sitting side by side with the 96X of Stacy Bailey. Stacy's trying to get her vehicle refired as best as possible. Hey, there we go. The 96X is back underway and moving. Didn't make it too far. Looks like that's a few technical problems. And watch it, because that's going to be one heck of a hit from the number 15, Chad Cole. And they are stacking them up 3 deep out there. And the number 50 is going to make it 4. That's Daniel Mace out of MacArthur. They wanted to get in on that action too. And look up there on the high side, the number 831 coming down there. We got one up on the side barricade right now, and I don't think the number 96 is too awful happy. And that's Stacy Bailey out of Albany. Removed herself from the action. Flag off the doorpost, but again, she drove in memory of John Wheeler tonight. And look at those big cars go. That just opened the side of that number 77. Jordan Stotts out of Albany took one heck of a hard hit from the number 73R. And that was Jamie Graves out of Athens. And Jamie did one heck of a job peeling that yellow station wagon right up. And my goodness, look at it next time. He goes, I don't know if he's going to make it by. But the 73R, Jamie Graves, taking no prisoners. He went after the number 50 that time. And I think the number 50 is going to make a payback. And right now, hold him up, hold him up. There's one of the good reasons that we can't have any. Ooh, let's get it back going, gentlemen. I still see movement out of 5 vehicles out on the track right now. We've got the number 15 of Chad Cole back to back with the number 831 of Mickey West out of Athens. Circling the wagons right now on the 621 is Clyde Danner out of Shade. Clyde's going to find himself getting packed down there in the corner and up on top of that doggone barricade. They just slid around. And the 218X, Seth Gibson, stopping just shy of the driver's door on the number 50. Daniel Mace is driving the 50 out there. He's going to choose his next victim. Looks like he's going to continue to mix it up down there at the end with the number 218X of Seth Gibson. So I believe right now it's a 2-on-2, but he's going to take the wide open shot on the number 15. Chad Cole's going to get the brunt end of that hit from Daniel Mace out of MacArthur. Daniel's in that white number 50 station wagon out there, and he's back-to-back and bumper to bumper with the number 15 of Chad Cole. 831 of Mickey West still running strong, as well as the 218X of Seth Gibson. These 4 vehicles battling it out, and they're coming down the track at a high rate of speed right now, packing them in tight, and I think we've got some problems for the number 50. The nose of that number 50 hooked up on top of that concrete barricade. The only saving grace that he may have is the fact that he still appears to be getting some decent traction out there. And the 831, Mickey West taking a hard hit in the nose right there. He's down in the corner, left that nose exposed, and you can see quite a bit of that nose metal movement around the engine compartment of the 831. And the steam starting to pour out of that orange station wagon down in the corner. And I think Mickey West deciding this ain't exactly where he wants to be at present time. Also out in the track, still working on unwedging himself from that barricade. Hold him up, hold him up. Like the referees had to stop in and give a little pep talk and some words of encouragement to a couple of drivers. That happens from time to time. No, we can't have anybody in here. We're not done yet. We're going to have to stop the Derby until these people get out of here. The Derby is not over. We're just lining them up right now. Okay, let them loose, and these drivers are going to be... Okay, the 831's moving on down at the far end. That's Mickey West out of Athens. Also have the 15 of Chad Cole moving in, as well as the 218 of Seth Gibson. Those 3 are moving on to the feature event. Now again, drivers, I see that we had a few vehicles got pushed up on the track, the barricades. Still running strong. We're just unable to get themselves unwedged from there. So if you're able to get them refired, rerunning, and ready to go again, don't forget that we are having that consolation event. Now the consolation event must be registered for. So if you want to participate in that, you must go up to the registration trailer and let them know that you would. And it looks like the first one onto the track is going to be the 22M, which is Bill Miller out of Athens, sponsored by Cornwell Jewelry. Don't have a number on the second one that came in, but there's the 3M, Joe Moran out of Nelsonville, sponsored by Curtis Towing. Don't have a number on that one either, so we'll have to go by elimination. Number 1. Double O. There comes Alex Llewellyn in the 23A out of the Plains, sponsored by Glass A Sound. Double O, Dustin Crabtree out of Jackson, sponsored by Randy Evans Construction. The 24X, Rod Brown out of Wellston, sponsored by Brown's Construction. Here comes the number 11, Bill Cox out of Hamden, sponsored by Harris Motorsports. Number 73, Aaron Atkins out of Huntington, sponsored by L&A Transmission. The number 315, Harley Rao out of Logan, sponsored by H&H Miller Small Engine. And we've got 2 of them that I didn't catch. That was the number 16 of Seth Mullins out of Wellston, and the WD-40 Jason Schaefer out of Athens, sponsored by the Union Street Diner. Five, four, three, 2, 1. Let them go. And number 24X was in a big doggone hurry. That's Rod Brown out of Wellston, slipping off there just a tad early. I don't think he wanted to wait for the green flags to drop. He was in a big doggone hurry to demo out here, and the 24X started going. And already we got some serious issues down at the far end as they're just packing them in. The 22M. Whoa, look at all that. We got a lot of smoke coming up out of the number 3M right now. And there goes the radiators left and right. These guys are having one heck of a night. The 315, Harley Rao out of Logan. He was just sliding off, put some hard hits and glancing blows as he was down through there. And we could see the 24X of Rod Brown is kind of wedged up into the engine compartment of the number 3M. That's Joe Moran. These drivers are having a rough go at it, but the one thing that if a driver's sitting and he gets a direct hit on a driver's door, that's one thing, but you almost kind of have to drive offensively as well as defensively, as these driver's doors definitely move around on them quite a bit. The 23A pulling away, Alex Llewellyn out of the Plains, and all of the excitement's going to migrate down to the east end of the track. Last one in there is going to be that 22M of Bill Miller out of Athens. The 11's going to go down, spin it around. That's Bill Cox out of Hamden. Try to take a little different look at things. And the number 73 is taking a legal hit on the door. Aaron Atkins out of Huntington. He's moving a little bit sluggish here, and look at it, the 24X able to unwedge himself off of that vehicle he was momentarily stuck on. Not doing so well as the number 3M, who's still sitting there, doggone it. Joe Moran got a couple other ones currently stalled out down at the other end. I think that was the WD-40, Jason Schaefer. The double O not doing so well either. And by golly, I think Bill Cox in that 11 just did some serious damage to the number 22M. That was Bill Miller out of Athens on the receiving end of that. And actually, he didn't only receive it, he retained it. You can see that number 11 still pretty much stuck bumper to bumper right at track central right now. Hey, they got him unwedged and both vehicles are free. However, look at all the damage on the nose of the 22M right now. Bill Miller definitely on the short end of that stick. As you can see, the whole engine compartment definitely crinkled up quite a bit. But the 23A is ready to go. That's Alex Llewellyn. There's a little bit of a swing and a miss. He went down there and tried to make contact, but unable to make it stick right there on the front. And as this thing goes on and on, five vehicles left, five of them battling it out for the top three spot. In top three, we'll move on right now. The number 73, Aaron Adkins, trying to get himself turned around, which he does very nicely, and proceeds to go nose to nose with Alex Llewellyn in the 23A. They're followed very closely by Bill Cox out of Hamden. And also in the loop right now is that 24X Rod Brown in that black wagon. And look at all the smoke just barreling out of that number 23A. I think he's having a little bit of a rough time seeing where he's going. He's getting pushed down there toward the east end of the track. But the main thing is he's still able. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that, I'm afraid, because I don't think that that's steam. Yeah, maybe she is. I don't know. But sometimes when they start smoking like that, you've got some more issues that aren't too far behind. I don't think that steam's dissipating too quick. We'll definitely keep a close eye on the number 23A of Alex Llewellyn. The motor's around there, but he's keeping her hot. But I'd say keep an eye on that 23A if I could have the fire department doing that, because we may need to hop into service fairly quickly if he's ruptured one of his transmission lines on that. Leaving a lot of steam coming around. As long as that's steam, it's A-OK and safe. But sometimes when they get hot, go up in flames pretty quick. But you can see that Alex Llewellyn definitely sustained quite a bit of damage on the nose of that vehicle early on here, and he's going to go back and issue a little bit of his own. They're doing a little bit of an Allemande right in the front of the infield side of the track. That's the number 11 of Bill Cox and the 24X of Rod Brown. And right now it looks like the number 73 of Aaron Adkins is on the timer right at the moment. Hey, we got one fired up. Let's see how he does there. He's got her fired and back on the move. That's the number 73. As long as he can make it in there and make contact, which it looks like he did her within the time frame. I'd say Aaron Adkins is back in the game right now. That must just be steam out of the nose of that 23A, who just had a little bit of a swing and a miss. Number 24X just a little bit too quick, and sometimes it's better to leave well enough alone. I think the number 11 was Bill Cox was hooked up on that barricade where he wasn't getting any traction. I think the 23A wanted to get a free shot, but in the process of that, I think he actually helped him a little bit to get some traction and pull himself up off of that concrete barricade and get back into number 11 of Bill Cox. Hey, coming around the corner, the number 23A, Alex Llewellyn out of the plates. And the Buzz Bombs have finally got it. Hold them up. Looks like the time has expired on the number 73 from what I can see from this vantage point. Checkered flag going over toward the number 24X of Rod Brown out of Wellston, sponsored by Brown's Construction. The number 23A, Alex Llewellyn out of the Plains, sponsored by Class A Sounds. And over there is the number 11 of Bill Cox, sponsored by Harris Motorsports out of Hamden. So that's it for the original runnings of the 3 heats of the mini cars. Now again, any mini driver that did not qualify, don't forget about the consolation event. We're going to be running that, but you must go up to the registration trailer and let them know you would like to participate if you're able to get your vehicle going. Now we are going to do that for the large cars as well. So
Okay, it looks like Mike Farley out of Wellston is here in number 80, sponsored by the SAS Derby team. There we go, one down on that end. It looks like the track fairly well.
okay, there's the 757, Brandon Cosper out of Logan, sponsored by Hocking Valley Welding. The number 27, James Sykes out of Logan. Here comes the number 28, Brody Mace out of MacArthur, sponsored by Mace Garage. Okay, we can bring some more cars down on the track. They're just going to set those barricades in place. So, gentlemen, if you're doing that, watch behind your back. We'll go ahead and get a couple cars snuck in here. Ray Hall's in the F-16 out of Hamden. I think he's got a pretty fresh wagon rolling onto the track right now. Following him very closely is the number 49, Josh Barnett out of MacArthur. The 33X, Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield. All right, behind him is going to be the 595 of Don Baden out of Logan, sponsored by Mud Puppy Concrete. The number 11, Leroy Malloy out of Lodi, sponsored by Huddle Tire. And I didn't catch the number on the last car, but it looks to be the 8 UP of Wayne Barnhart out of Athens, sponsored by Gravelback Garage. Ready, so let's give them a countdown, starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let them go! And your third heat of the Smash It, Crash It, Tear 'em Up Automobile Demolition Derby of the full-size vehicles is now underway, and already the 757 of Brandon Cosper working the middle of the track, and up on the high side, the number 11's rolling right down there as well. Leroy Malloy is working the grandstand side, pushing their way down through. Here's the F-16 of Ray Hall out of Hamden. They're stacking them 3 deep. The number 49 is out there, last one to make contact. Josh Barnett out of MacArthur. Josh is pretty easy to follow. He's got a little bit of smoke coming out of those twin stacks of the black 49. And it looks like the 28 is doing one heck of a fine job. That was Brody Mace in that white number 28 out of MacArthur, continuing to pummel away on that vehicle as turned sideways. Can't make a number out on it right now, but he's in a very bad spot. The F-16 of Ray Hall doing about the same thing. Oh, and my goodness, a number 80. That was Wayne Barnhart out of, nope, that was Mike Farley in the number 80. He went back to back and absolutely parked that orange automobile up in the number 27. Hold him up! Hold him up, hold him up, drivers. Hold him up, hold him up, hold him up. We got us an axle out here, and we definitely got to get that. Hold him up, so we're ready to turn him loose and let him go. The action getting back underway here. I think the number 49 is going to have a little bit of a slower ride. Josh Barnett out of MacArthur. He was the poor fellow that lost that axle. He lost one, but the other one's doing one heck of a fine job. And coming around the outside's the number 33X of Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield. He's trying to make his way down through there. The F-16 coming down through there at sonic speed. That's Ray Hall. Hold him up. Hold him up. Hold him up. Hold him up. Let's let him loose. And they are ready to go. Right now, the first one wanting to make contact. Holy camole. That one's going to be felt in the morning. I think that may have been, if I'm looking right, possibly the F-16 on the receiving end of that. But, yep, that was the F-16. Ray Hall took quite a wallop from the 8 UP of Wayne Barnhart. Wayne Barnhart out of Athens was running seriously strong down the track, and he caught the F-16, I think, a little bit by surprise. Got a lot of smoke starting to come up off the number 28, but Brody Mace keeping that thing going down the track. I think he may just possibly have a tire going down, not quite sure. I think all that smoke is definitely coming from the rear tire on the driver's side. That's where most of that seems to be going. Number 80 having some bad luck himself. That's Mike Farley out of Wellston trying to get on. There goes the flag from the number 80. And we just lost one other vehicle, the number 33X of Ben Simmons, finding himself wedged up on the concrete barricade, and time has expired. So we are down to just 5 automobiles left running. 5 of these, only 3 are going to be making it into the big money round. So we're going to see which one has the most in it. And I'd say the 8 UP of Wayne Barnhart out of Athens doing a fine job, but Wayne just left the nose open. And I think the 757 of Brandon Cosper took full advantage of that. Because the 757 just put a heck of a wallop on there. Back comes the F-16 of Ray Hall to get a little bit of payback on the 8 UP of Mr. Barnhart's vehicle. Down on the other side, the number 28 still running. Brody Mace getting his vehicle spun around right now. And it looks like number 11 has taken his flag off, and I think he has lost something in the drivetrain of that vehicle. And the 757, Brandon Cosper, he's going to go down there and make contact with the 8 UP of Wayne Barnhart, as well as the number 28 of Brody Mace out of MacArthur, all in one foul swoop. We still do have the number F-16 of Ray Hall out of Hamden getting spun around right now down in the corner, trying to get out of that predicament. And in comes the 757. Brandon Cosper wanted to let him know that he is still very much in contention for this. Now it's down to just 4 vehicles battling it out for the top 3 spots here in your 3rd heat of the large car event. Number 28 still doing a lot of spinning in the back, generating a lot of smoke, but I believe he's got some serious issues with that rear driver's side tire on the number 28. Main thing is he's able to keep making contact as the heat wears on. We've got 4 very strong and capable cars right now, and good legal hits as they're coming through. The number 28, generating a lot of tire smoke, and he's able to spin around to use the nose of that machine like a battering ram as he makes charge on the front of the 757 of Brandon Cosper. Brandon's going to be this. Looks like he's in the sights of the F-16 right now. That's Ray Hall. And right now we may have some technical difficulties with the 757. He's getting looked around. That's going to definitely leave a mark come tomorrow. I think he either lost a linkage or lost a drive shaft on the 750s. I don't see a drive shaft laying there, but he's definitely got some issues. And my, oh my, the 757, Brandon Cosper, is taking one heck of a beating out there. I think that's going to be it. That's going to be it right there. Let's hold him up. Hold him up. Hold him up. That is going to be your winners right there. Sir. That's going to be the number 8 UP of Wayne Barnhart out of Athens, getting the checkered flag right now. Next to him is going to be the F-16 of Ray Hall out of Hamden. And they are walking their way down there towards the number 28, who is going to be the third one making his way. That's Brody Mace out of MacArthur. So a big congratulations to the 8 UP of Wayne Barnhart, the 28 of Brody Mace, and the F-16 Ray Hall, all qualified for the big money round. They're going to be moving on to the feature event tonight.
You need to go report to your vehicle right away, please. Car park between the dairy barn and the poultry barn. Please send somebody from your party to your vehicle with the keys. Here comes the 99B, Dustin Buckley. I missed the first car that came through here. Number 24 car must be Randall McCoon out of New Marshfield. The number 315. Harley Brown out of Logan, sponsored by Ace Page Motor Small Engine. Number 13, Dustin McGard out of Athens, sponsored by Lucky Dog. We have 6 vehicles signed up for this, and as long as one of those over there is one with 67, is one with 22X on the far side. Lex Clayton Darst out of New Marshfield. And is that the 67 down there in the corner, the first one on the list track? Junior, is that the 6-7? Got the 00 coming on right now. Don't have the 00 on the list, so if I could get a name of that from our... Okay, sounds like the list is on the way. Alex Llewellyn out of the Plains, you'll be receiving one of the hardest hit trophies, so if you get a chance, I understand you are in the feature. So obviously if you work on your vehicle, don't wear yourself away from that. We do have the announcements made that come up here. If you're unable to, we'll have to down at the registration trailer immediately following tonight's demolition derby. Also on the back of this, they do have car number 39B, Jeremy Johnson out of Athens, will be receiving the other trophy for the full-size vehicles. I understand he also has made it into the feature event for the big cars. Now again, both of those drivers will be receiving a trophy and $20 each. $20 each is again sponsored by Johnny's Dog Box, which is down next to the horse barn. You look to your right, the main grand.
2, 1, let them go! And the action's now underway in the mini car consolation. And look at them going already. The number 67 of Howard Miller going back to back. And wow, do these guys mean business out here as they're going down there. They're spinning each other around. and going for broke. We may have to watch out at that far end down there as they just almost busted it up. These little mini cars are spinning them around. And 99B, Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester, doing some hard hitting. That's going to leave a mark as the number 67, Howard Miller, bust down there. Doggone it, Howard. I think he went down there and bounced himself up on the doggone barricade. He's got that rear-wheel drive car. And as you can see, he may have one heck of a time unwedging himself from that. But the 00 just sustained quite a bit of damage from that last hit. Got a couple of them wedged up on top of one another right now. That's going to go yet another time. Referee's keeping a close eye on that 00. Down at the other end, we still have 3 of them running around already. The number 24R, Randall McCoon, he's out as well. So I think this may rock and roll pretty fast down to the end. Uh-oh, look, we got the 00 slowly trying to pull his way out of there. And a cloud of smoke and haze. A 00 not sounding none too healthy. But Harley Ryle out of Logan, he's on the timer. Running the strongest out there right now is going to be Dustin Buckley in the 99B. And Dustin's going to come down there and give a special delivery to that 00. There we got the 13 going. Dustin McGrath out of Athens. He's going to have to get down and make his way. He's going to spin it around to make contact, and he's having one heck of a time finding something to hit. He's just going to have to throw it in dry, but right now he's got his nose stuck out there, and I think he's looking around. They're telling him to go ahead and make some contact. The 00's doing the best that he can, trying to get that going, but these cars are definitely tired out here. And the 99B, Dustin Buckley. Let's hold him up. That's going to be it. These guys already ran one, and they had a lot of room, but it looks like the 99B, Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester, moving on. Also out there is the 00, who I do not have a name on that driver on the list here. And it looks like down at the far, they're making a decision on who was the last one. If I could get a name for the 00, I don't have the driver's name on the list here. Dustin Crabtree is in the 00. So Dustin Crabtree, Dustin Buckley, and I believe the 13 of Dustin McGarth. The 13, that's correct. Okay. We got 3 Dustins going to the feature event. Out of the feature. So if your name was Dustin and you had a mini car, that was your lucky night tonight. Again, the 13, Dustin McGarth, the 99B, Dustin Buckley, and Dustin Crabtree in the 00. All moving on to the mini car feature. Okay, Stacy Bailey in the 96X, followed by the 35D, Keith Douglas out of Shade. Sponsored by Bob Evans. The 600, Keith Taylor out of Nelsonville. Sponsored by TB Auto. I believe that is the number 80. Mike Farley out of Wellston. Followed by the 33X, Ben Simmons out of New Marshville. The 262, Jeff Adams out of Nelsonville. I'm not quite sure if that was who was in the 80. They may want to check the original heat on that. I don't think that's the original driver. It may be, but... Here comes the number 44, J.R. Springer out of Guysville. Okay, we've still got 4 vehicles. This is the last call. Again, take it slow if you're coming around. 80. That's Mike Farley. 86, and Charlie Beverly must be the one that's already snuck in there. Slightly damaged on the passenger side. Maybe a little bit harder to read. We now have the 80 on there. That's Mike Farley out of Wellston. And here comes James Sykes in the number 27 out of Logan, I believe. 757 coming right behind. That's going to be the last one. That is Brandon Cosper out of Logan. Yeah, I've got a double zero, a dozen traffic, and we've got a full size double as well. I think that's just going a long line. How's it going?
Good. I want to go here and watch it.
And the action getting underway here in the large car consolation event. And we've got quite a few of them battling it out right now, and I think all of them are wanting to get into the big money round. The sad state of event is only 3 of them are going to be able to make it through. We can see down at the other end that the number 86, that's Charlie Beverly. He's going in there already hitting pretty hard. I think the 33X, he definitely got a fairly fresh vehicle. That's Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield, doing a fine job as he's getting over there. Earlier in his heat, he did get hung up. Hold him up, hold him up. Hold him up. Back's clear, and we're ready to turn them loose and let them go. Get the action back underway right now. The number 600, Keith Taylor, is back in his vehicle. Able to drive back around, got a little bit more fresh air, and they're stacking them 3 deep down on the grandstand side. Number 44 coming in. And look at a 35D, Keith Douglas coming in, spinning his vehicle around, and look at, we got Stacy Bailey moving right down the track in the number 96X. She's here out of Albany. She's going to take her all the way down to the far end, kind of protect that radiator a little bit. And she's going to get down to the far end of the track before finally coming to a rest. The number 35D, Keith Douglas, out of Shade, having one heck of a time down there. Car parts just a-flying off of those vehicles right now. Definitely packing them in down there. The number 600 of Keith Taylor, he's moving a little bit sluggish right now, actually not moving at all. And he's going to get his bell rung by the number 44 of J.R. Springer out of Guysville. And the number 262, Jeff Adams out of Nelsonville, is up on top of that barrier log. And doggone it, I think he's just putting on a heck of a smoke show. He's got his flag ripped off of the 262, and I think he's out of commission. So Jeff Adams in the 262 is out for the night. 33X, Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield, nosing down to the far end of the track. Going to take aim and has a lot of running room right now. Looks like he's going to be going after the number 27. That's Jamie Sykes out of Logan down at the far end of the track. Sounds like they got a real good running engine underneath Brandon Cosper, 757. He kind of muscled his way down to the far end of the track. And these cars definitely getting tired. We can see how unforgiving those barriers are as the number 35D, Keith Douglas, just not able to get himself unwedged off of there as time is slowly expiring. And that's going to leave just a little bit of a mark on the nose. You can see that the number 44, J.R. Springer, really did some damage to Stacy Bailey's number 96. If you're on the infield side, you can really see the engine compartment crinkled up. But he's an equal opportunity driver. He's going right over to the number 86. Unleashing a little bit of that on Charlie Beverly right now. Charlie's kind of sitting sideways. I think the number 35X is kind of going to maybe do a little finishing. Now we got a couple wagons kind of trying to finish things off. But boy, you can see the nose of Stacy Bailey's number 96X really taking a beating out there. But look at that. That thing is still moving. And that's the name of the game. As long as she can keep moving and keep hitting, that is what it takes out there. But I'm telling you, folks, I don't know how much more that engine's going to be taking right there. It is getting a pounding. The number 757, Brandon Cosper, you can easily find him down there. We got a lot of sparks flying out from the 44. Because right now, not quite sure, probably the fan hitting the radiator potentially, but got a lot of sparks out of the 44. The referees saying it's still go time. Right now, I believe the number 27, Jamie Sykes, he's going to get pushed down the track by the number 44 of J.R. Springer out of Guysville. Right now we got quite a bit of exhaust on the number 86. 86 is still running. Charlie Beverly's got the hammer down, but the problem is he's just not. And we got a couple of them hung up. Nope, they're free now. We got the number 33X. And hey, there comes the number 27, Jamie Sykes out of Logan, back into action right now. J.R. Springer into number 44, pushing his way through there. Looks like he's going to find his next victim. Got to figure out which way he's going to be going with this. And a 757 refired once again. Brandon Cosper. And right now, it looks like it may be down to just a little bit of time. Number 44 is finding himself probably in a place that he doesn't want to be, and that's hung up on one of them barricades. And the number 27, James Sykes out of Logan, trying to get his refired. There goes the red light on the number 44. Not exactly sure what's going on, but that's going to leave a mark on the 27. Got some sparks up inside there. The number 44 is back running again. Now the question is he going to be able to get any? Hold him up right there. The red flags are flying. And the number 27, James Sykes out of Logan, is going to get the checkered flag. The number 33X is getting the checkered flag. Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield. And the 757, Ben Cosper out of Logan, getting the checkered flag. They'll be going into the feature event now. Drivers, if you are registered and made it into the feature event for the mini cars, the track is starting to clear. I repeat, the track is starting to clear on this consolation event, which means you need to wrap up the repairs you're making and get your mini cars heading out toward the track. Again, be slow and be cautious as you make your way down through here. But as soon as we get the track cleared, that is when the mini car feature event will be taken to. And the number 11X, Tony Miller out of Gloucester. Here comes your number 3D, Todd Denner out of Athens. The number 99B, Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester. Following him is the number 13, Dustin McGrath out of Athens. Here comes the number 98, Kenny Klaus out of Millfield. Still waiting on 3 vehicles right now. The number 110, Joe Skurlock. Number 23A, Alex Llewellyn, and the 00, Dustin Crabtree. Plus all the bragging rights as the mini car champion here at your 2009 Athens County Fair. And all of the drivers have migrated down to the one end of the track. All the action's down there. Kind of splitting the gap right now is going to be Todd Donner in the number 3D. He's having a little bit of a shoving match with the number 13 of Dustin McGarth out of Athens. Here comes the number 24X. The number 11 sure was putting on quite a show as far as sound-wise. There he finally made some contact. I think we got a little bit of a grudge match between the 11 and the 11X's. Battles of the ones out there. That's Tony Miller out of Gloucester in the 11X. Number 11 is Bill Cox out of Hamden. Those two fairly easy to find. A lot of noise out there. And look at the number 13 coming into the picture right now. That's Dustin McGarth out of Athens. Number 3D is going to go all the way from one end of the track down to the other at a fairly high rate of speed. Throw his car in reverse and take aim on Kenny Klaus in the number 98. Kenny Klaus getting a little bit of a shove from the 99B. That's Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester. Also got the number 444 over there. That's Toby Skinner out of Gloucester. These guys mixing it up. I believe the number 13 currently may be stalled out. And it looks like a good move by the number 3D as he hits the brakes. Todd Denner keeping an eye out for the safety of driver number 13. Thank you. And he's doing an excellent job out there. Uh-oh, looks like we have one up on the concrete barrier over there. That's Kenny Klaus, number 98. Kenny's not doing too well. We've seen it claim a few of them, and speaking of claiming them, we got 2 hooked up side by side. That other one over there is Rod Brown out of Wellston. They're trying to rock and roll it. Number 11's coming out there. He gives him a little bit of a shove. That was Bill Cox. And the steam is just a rolling. And it looks like time had already expired on the number 98. That was Kenny Klaus. Doggone it. The referee was telling him that his time had expired. So that means he has been counted out right now. The referee's telling him it's time to kind of migrate out of the corner right now. Uh-oh, we got us another one kind of hung up. Looks like a number 11 is not faring so well himself. Uh-oh. I think he was asking for somebody, please hit me. And sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, because Tony Miller was more than happy to oblige. He's going to go back there and give him a little bit of a tap himself. Said, yep, I appreciate it. And once again, the battle of the 11s is taking place right there at track center. Number 11, he's kind of running a little bit sluggish right now. Not helping the fact that Tony Miller keeps hammering away. Here comes the 99B kind of limping around. That's Dustin Buckley out of Gloucester. 5 automobiles still running strong. 3 of these drivers guaranteed prize money. 2 of them will have to be eliminated. And that was a good clean hit. The number 99B, Dustin Buckley, coming back in there. And uh-oh, we definitely got some problems in the 444 right now. 444's got some issues with his radiator. Toby Skinner out of Gloucester. And that's going to leave a little bit of a mark, the number 444. Toby Skinner coming back in there to plant one heck of a hit on the nose of that number 11 automobile. Bill Cox on the receiving end of that. I think that did some damage, but he's able to get the number 11 back going. But guess who's there? The number 11X, Tony Miller. He was ready and waiting. Rod Brown's out there in the black mini wagon right now. And he's kind of circling the wagon, going on the outer belt around the 99B of Dustin Buckley. Dustin's automobile taking quite a lot of punishment out there. See the rear end of that vehicle just slightly distorted here in the running of the feature event. And I think we may have just stalled out the number 11 of Bill Cox once again. Referee's holding him on the timer right now. We're going to be stacking them 3 deep out here. Oh, swinging a miss by the number 444, Toby Skinner. Definitely have one of them on the timer. And number 11 goes over there to, excuse me, that was 11X. Tony Miller to go over and let Bill Cox know he was still around there, keeping an eye on things. And the steam starting to pour out of the number 24X. And a hush falling over the track. They're going to have to keep a close eye. Looks like number 11. Oh, that's going to hurt just a little bit. And time has expired for the number 11. Bill Cox, time has ran out. Right now, the 444, he's back running again. That was Toby Skinner out of Gloucester, rounding a corner, the number 11X. Tony Miller. And we have the number 99B as well, Dustin Buckley, I believe still on the timer. See, just a little bit of movement out of that thing. But I'll tell you what, folks, these small cars definitely having some problems out here. There we go. We got a hit out of the 11X, Tony Miller. There, he's got it refired. Number 444, Toby Skinner. He's back refired. We got that one out. The 24X is now out. Who we got? They're saying time's expired over there. And the 24X is out. Toby Skinner down in the corner in the 444. Right now, the 11X, Tony Miller, turning his automobile around. Looks like he's going to take a little bit of a different point of view on things. These guys are going to be trying it back to back over here. That is a solid hit with a little bit of automobile wrapped around it. You can see these cars just don't have a whole lot of metal to them. Quite a wild ride. I think right now they're stuck together. Now, it was stated in the driver's meeting if it came down to a 1-2 finish, they are going to pull them apart if it needs be. And I think the number 444 just waved them off saying, I'm pretty much done. I will settle for second place, which means the 11X, Tony Miller, is going to be your first place finisher. Second place is the 444. And who do we got finishing in third right now? It looks like they're walking over toward the number 24X is going to be the third place finisher. That's Rod Brown. So again, first place in the mini car feature event, Tony Miller in the 11X. Second place is the 444, Toby Skinner. And third place is Rod Brown. Congratulations to all those drivers. And need to let everybody know back in the pits, if you are in the large car feature event, you've got until the track is cleared. We're going to start lining them up. So you need to wrap up the repairs that you're making. Get your vehicles down to the track.
James Sykes in the number 27 out of Logan.
So this is the
I mean, I'm sorry.
28 is Brody Mace out of MacArthur, sponsored by Mace Garage. The F-16's Ray Hall out of Hamden's on the track right now. He's followed closely by the 33X of Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield. The first 27 to come on the track was actually Shane Graves out of Athens. I'm sorry about that, but he's in the blue number 27. We also had a number 27 out of Logan. 39B, Jeremy Johnson out of Athens on the track right now, sponsored by Land It Used. Seth Gibson, Chad Cole in the 15, and the 757 of Brandon Cosper. And that is James Sykes in the number 27. And it looks like Mickey West out of Athens was able to get his number 831 taken care of. Not quite sure what was going on with it, but whatever it was, they must have got the problem solved. I hear something going on back there. They are closing the track, and then Cosper out of Logan's going to make it onto the track. But they are closing the track right now. As soon as that last vehicle works his way in here. And that is Brandon Cosper out of Logan. Looks like we only had a couple of them that didn't make it onto the track.
Can we do the thing, the countdown? Oh.
Times Royal Court didn't want to get up here and really.
Well, we're special.
Well, yes, you
We're
guys
into
are.
this. Yeah, the other two haven't even come up. We like smashing cars.
Okay, so Kelly.
Kerry, K-E-R-R-Y. And
I got a good memory. It's just short.
Heather. Yeah, my paper's still up there.
Oh yeah, I got your national anthem. Okay, and it looks like all the drivers were able to make it. The 218X Seth Gibson and the number 15 of Chad Cole are on the track. Now, once again, any time that we're able to get some participation out of the Royal Court at your 2009 Athens County Fair, we more than take advantage of it. We have Carrie and Heather, who you met earlier tonight, have graciously agreed to perform the countdown for the feature event.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let them go!
And the action is now underway in the large car big money event right out here. We can see everybody but the 218X of Seth Gibson, who's broken away from the pack, making their way in there. A little bit of smoke already coming out from the number 28. That's Brody Mace out of MacArthur. And Jeremy Johnson in the number 39B. He's here out of Athens in that bright green machine. He's easily found. He's got that big banner up on top. Around the corner goes Mickey West in the 831. And a hard back-to-back hit from the 27 of Shane Graves out of Athens. I think we may have just a little bit started. surprising hit. Look at him go right now. The 39B of Jeremy Johnson coming down the track at a blistering rate. These guys definitely going for broke out here in the big money round. Uh-oh. I don't think that's what the 757 Brandon Cosper may have wanted to do. Got himself kind of hung up. Looks like that vehicle's up on the frame right here in front of the announcing stand. Hopefully he's going to be able to get his vehicle wiggled around enough. And the good thing is he does have some cracks in the numbers. 75, Mark Shields going into the 15 at a pretty good clip. Chad Cole taking quite a hit. And look at him going back-to-back and bumper-to-bumper right there in Grand Central. That was the 831 of Mickey West, the 218X. These guys are going right back after it, folks. Same two cars. I think we got us a little grudge match going. Getting pretty loud out there. The number 15, Chad Cole, taking a nose-to-nose hit from Jeremy Johnson in the 39B. Uh-oh, we've got a lot of smoke coming out from the number 28. That's Brody Mace. He's got a lot of steam and smoke coming out from underneath the hood of that car. That's definitely cool, and it's spewing all over the place down on the track. That car is going to be getting very, very hot pretty quickly here. 15's coming in. 28, second. We got a little bit of hard hitting going on out there in the feature. The 39B, Jeremy Johnson taking aim. Speaking of some hard hitting, we got the 218X Seth Gibson. He was on the attack after the 831 of Mickey West. Mickey currently out. Looks like, uh-oh, he's done up there. Hey, looks like we got the F-16 flying in. A little bit of work out there. That was Ray Hall. He currently parked his vehicle. I think we got a couple of them hooked nose to nose over there. Uh-oh, we got it. Hold up. We're going to need us we got a fire going on down there. You can see the flames dancing out of the top. I believe burn them loose and let them go. Get the action back underway here in the big money round. The number 33X, Ben Simmons. Looks like he went into the side of the F-16. Ray Hall. We got him packing them in down there. And I definitely see movement out of 6 automobiles. So right now, looks like they got a 50-50 shot at getting into some money tonight. 3 are going to move on. 3 are going to have to be disqualified. And look at them making their way down through here. That's Shane Graves out of Athens in that blue number 27. He's kind of pushing the 33X around at the present time. That's Ben Simmons getting flipped around. The F-16 of Ray Hall. Now over on the other side, we still got the number 75 of Mark Shields and the number 218X of Seth Gibson. Referee saying good hit. Right in the nose. Number 75's on the receiving end of that. And that was a solid hit out of the 218X, Seth Gibson. Hold him up, hold him up. Hold him up. Got some problems right out here. I think they're telling him to get out of the car. I think they must have us. Ray's car off pretty quickly, but it's been a rough night. We're ready to turn them loose and let them go. See movement out on the track between 4 of them right now. So one of them is going to have to be disqualified. The rest of them will be into the money tonight. Shane Graves in the number 27 out there. Got the 218X of Seth Gibson, the number 33X. That's Ben Simmons out of New Marshville. And the number 15, Chad Cole. Four drivers left running here. And the 218X. Seth Gibson going into the nose of the 33X of Ben Simmons. And they're stacking them up out there right now. It's a little bit of a chess game, seems like. Four drivers battling it out for three money paying spots. Shane Graves in the number 27 going to be going for a wild ride here, courtesy of the 33X. That was Ben Simmons in that blue wagon out there, giving a little bit of a shove over to the other side. Luckily, the 27 didn't get hung up on that barrier wall. And these large cars are definitely showing quite a bit of wear and tear after all they've been through so far tonight. Sounds like the 15's having there. He's got her going right there. And I think the 33X just lost his radiator. Gonna have some problems with that. Number 15, Chad Cole. Number 27, Shane Graves. The 33X, Ben Simmons. Seth Gibson all going for the win tonight in the big money round. And we just had a tire go flat on the 33X. Shane Graves definitely getting warm out there. He's kind of easy to follow around right now. Most of the smoke and steam coming from his vehicle. I'd say that's a pretty wild ride inside Shane Graves' number 27 right there. I don't think he was able to see where he was going for a moment. All that steam is kind of coming back and filling up the driver's compartment of that automobile. He's still working it pretty hard, though. Well, luckily, the bumper height was not doing so bad there. Number 33X, Ben Simmons, not currently hung up on any particular vehicle. Number 27 at the moment, Shane Graves, looking a little reminiscent. Okay, we got some movement out of the 33X. Ben Simmons is refired. He's going to have to stop just shy of the driver's door of the 27. Shane Graves, he's got quite a bit of steam coming out of that. Shane can't exactly see what's happening. Got a back-to-back hit between the 27 of Shane Graves, and it looks like that knocked the life right out of the number 33X of Ben Simmons. Ben's trying to get his refired as we speak. Got a little bit of action out of the number 15. Chad Cole coming into the side. And back running is the number 33X. That didn't last too long. He got her fired up, died right out. And he's got her going this time. And he's holding her down. I'd say he's got some little bit of problems with that. However, considering all that these vehicles been through tonight, they're not doing too shabby out there. Say Chad Cole's having some problems shifting his machine. Chad Cole in the 15 on the timer right now. Chad getting further and further in there. I think he's got some problems finding a forward gear or something at this moment in time. And the raw smell of Demolition Derby in the air, and it looks like time has run out for the number 15. Chad Cole is out of contention, which means you definitely got 3 of them on the track that will be getting money tonight. Number 27 just died out. That's Shane Graves. Looks like he's on the timer trying to refire his. The 218X, Seth Gibson. And over on the far side of the track should be Ben Simmons in the 33X. And he's trying to get her fired back up. Looks like he's doing the best that he can in the 33X. Ben Simmons over there. The only problem is it's taking just a little bit of a beating over there at present time. He's in a bad location. Looks like they're going to switch them around. We got 2 of them. Yep, he just turned his time off, and there's going to be your 3rd place finisher. So there's your winner. The 218X is going to be the 1st place finisher. That's Seth Gibson. Is that your 2nd place over there on the far? Which one's 2nd? Is that 2nd? This is 2nd. 2nd place is number 27 out of Athens, Shane Graves. And 3rd place over on the far side is 33X, Ben Simmons out of New Marshfield. So congratulations to... We need drivers only, please. Drivers only on the track. We've got a lot of vehicles to get out of here. A lot of things are going to be moving. Again, drivers only on the track. Drivers only on the track. Let these guys get the track cleared, do their job. Again, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to everybody that came out and stuck with us throughout tonight's festivities. We certainly appreciate you sticking around for the Smash and Demolition Derby. Please come back the next 2 nights. If you have some time tomorrow, come back around for the Junior Livestock Auction. That's going to be going on at 3 o'clock. And we got a couple ladies here that are inviting you out once again. So please, drive safe going home. Be careful. We'll see you back here soon.